So wait, lithium investors. I promise I'll tell you a story that's nothing like you're going to hear from the rest of the session. It's really easy for me to say that because I'm a uranium mining company, not a lithium company. I'll make two more promises to you. I'm going to tell you a uranium story that's unlike any of the uranium stories you heard earlier today, and I'm going to keep it snappy because I like cocktails as much as the rest of you. Come on, you're not going? You're good. Thanks for staying. Look, I'm Wayne Heili, and I'm the CEO of Peninsula Energy, and we do have a very compelling uranium story today. Peninsula Energy is advancing the restart presently of our Lance uranium projects in the United States. And when I say we're presently advancing the restart, that means right now here in the first quarter. We made the decision to restart our project in November, and we financed it in November, and we're a uranium production company with a I hesitate to call it a brownfields project because it was first built in 2015, but it was idled in 2019. I have a good collection of disclaimers for you. A couple of presentations out on the table. You can get them there, or you can get them on our website. I encourage you to read these, but not that fast. So here we go. Let me tell you about our Lance flagship project in the state of Wyoming. What sets Peninsula apart from the uranium peers that we're talking about. First of all, we have one of the largest uranium resources in a single project in the United States with over 53 million pounds. JORC, not 43101 compliant, but still. We made the positive investment decision to move forward with returning the project to production, and that activity is happening right now as we speak, and I mean it as we speak. In Wyoming, the team is working really hard to get the project up and running here in the first quarter. That means we're a near-term producer, and I don't think you can be any more near-term than what we are. We're on that path. We have a very significant growth potential through exploration on the projects, and we have development at a Kendrick project. What's really interesting about Peninsula, and you're going to see this in a couple of minutes, is not only are we a uranium production company, we're a uranium development company and a uranium exploration company. So if you like diversification in your investments, you can do that all in one stop with Peninsula, and I'll show you that. We're pretty well funded. Concurrent with making that decision to restart our production, we raised about $25 million US. At the end of the last quarter, we had $25 million US in the bank, and we had a uranium inventory of about 500,000 pounds. At $50 a pound, that's a handsome sum as well, about $25 million. On top of that, and you know, I told you we put this project into production in 2015, 2016 timeframe. We retained our people. We did what everybody says they're going to do. They're going to put their people first. And we made sure that while we went through the transition, the period where we were mothballed, we didn't let anybody go. We retained a very high quality team, and they're the people that are making me and my life a little easier. I can come here and talk about Peninsula while they do the hard work of restarting the project. So this is the Lance project. Again, it's a near-term restarting production problem or project in the United States. We have a plant facility, which you see here in the picture. It was built to produce about 800,000 pounds per year of uranium, but we have a license for the facility that will allow us to produce up to 3 million pounds per year off of the project. And that's why I can say not only are we a producer, we're a developer. We have intentions to ramp up our production from the current capacity to about 2 million pounds per year in the coming years. And with 54 million pounds of resource in one project, this is the largest single project in the United States. And then I'll talk to you just a minute later about the growth potential of the project. We're an Aussie listed company. The symbol is PEN, PEN, on the ASX. We also trade on the OTC for North American investors. You can do some trading on the OTCQB. The symbol is PENMF. Our market cap is about $200 million Australian, which is what, around 130 million US. We have no debt. We had the cash on hands, about $25 million at the end of the quarter, and 500,000 pounds of inventory as well. So, you know, our share price, 15.5 cents. We've been trading in that range for quite some time now. A management team that I'm very proud of. I told you they make my life easy, but, you know, collectively, the management team that you see, mostly site-focused management team, has about 200 years of direct uranium production experience. Myself, I'm a career uranium guy. I came out of university in the late 1980s, and I've been working in uranium ever since. So it's a great team behind a great project. Let me tell you about the project a little bit. The Lance projects are located in the state of Wyoming in the Powder River Basin, and the uranium investors know that Wyoming is a great jurisdiction for uranium mining. We have this map here shows all of the uranium projects in the state of Wyoming. Wyoming is self-regulated with respect to uranium mining, so I don't have to go to Washington, D.C. to talk to my regulators. I can talk to them in Cheyenne. I live in Wyoming, by the way, in Casper, because I've been a uranium guy all my life, and that's where uranium's produced in the United States. It's the right place. The Lance projects themselves, this is what I mean about being a producer, developer, and exploration company all in one package. We actually talk about Lance as projects, and there are three. The area in red is the Ross project, and that's where we have our current license for production. The area in blue is the Kendrick projects, and that's a development area. We, at the end of last year, applied for addition of the Kendrick area to the Ross licenses. So we're expanding our license area and expanding our reach of where we'll produce uranium. And finally, we have the Barber projects. The Barber projects is the larger area in green, and it's an under-delineated and underexplored resource area. The Barber projects themselves mostly hold inferred resources, but it holds 30 million pounds of inferred resources. The exploration geologists on our project know that when we upgraded the Ross and the Kendrick areas from inferred resources up to measured and indicated, we saw a 3 to 5-fold improvement or increase in the amount of uranium resources. Now, every investor knows past performance is no guarantee of future, but we believe that the exploration potential on Barber is about 100 million pounds. So we have a 50 million pound project today. We think there's potential to add another 100 million pounds to the project. And, you know, we intend to start moving down that path. When you have a 50 million pound resource and a 1 million pound per year production facility, you're not anxious to invest in exploration, but we know that if we did invest in the exploration on the Barber area, which we control the mineral interests in, that we could really add great value to the company and to the shareholders. We did a feasibility study in the middle of August of last year. It was part of the steps towards making that final investment decision. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong slide. This is our resource. That's a 54 million pounds. Again, we have a modern, long life project built in 2015 and being put back into production today. And this slide also talks about the exploration potential being 104 to 160 million pounds total over the project. So, yeah, the disadvantage of having to look at screens is I called up the wrong slide in my head. Apologize for that. Look, this is what we're doing different too in the United States. We've changed fundamentally the approach for in situ recovery for uranium for a United States operator. People familiar with our industry know that, and this is, you know, the chemistry that I grew up with was alkaline chemistry. Everybody in the United States used alkaline chemistry to dissolve uranium in an in situ context. We recognized as a company that everywhere else in the world, be it Australia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Russia, anywhere else, that China, that if you're practicing in situ recovery, you're using a low pH or acidic chemistry because it's more effective. We said, we concede, if you can produce uranium a lot less expensively using the acidic chemistry, so can we. And we decided back in 2017 to change our process chemistry. And our previous speaker said permitting in the United States is really difficult. We looked at that and said, okay, we're going to be a pioneer in permitting a low pH in situ recovery uranium mine in the United States. Can it be done? Everybody said no, but we proved them wrong. We now are fully permitted for low pH chemistry. We did technical de-risking after we did that regulatory de-risking. We did field trials. We did laboratory tests. We proved that this was a better route for uranium production using this low pH chemistry. And then finally we did the economic piece. We did a DFS in August. And this is really how we think as a board. This was the approach. Probably 2 years or 3 years ago, I put this slide up for the first time and not a single one of these was checked, but we said this is what we're going to do. We're going to technically de-risk. We're going to do a project economics. Then we're going to do a final evaluation of those economics and make a funding decision and a final investment decision. And we did that. We did the technical check. We did the project economics. They checked out, and then we did the final investment decision. Now we're in the process of restarting our old well fields with the new chemistry and building new well fields for future production. So this is how we work. This is just checking the boxes. Another piece that sets us apart from our peers, and it's very easy, we have an established uranium contract sales book. We could make a positive investment decision because we knew the price and we knew who our customers would be. We're not speculating on the market when we make an investment decision. We have a contract book that allows us to deliver up to 5 million pounds into the market between now and 2030 with prices that are above today's spot market for uranium. Really prices around $60 a pound on average over the term of those sales contracts. So we knew that if we restarted the production, our production would be going into contracts that we already had at favorable prices. Also, just incidentally, and most of you know about the U.S. Uranium Reserve, Peninsula participated in that. We took and fulfilled a 300,000 pound piece for the U.S. Uranium Reserve. The award was in the fourth quarter of last year, and we delivered those pounds to the U.S. government. 300,000 pounds of our inventory went to the U.S. government at very good prices here in the first quarter. So we monetized some of our inventory to help us fund the restart. And that's really the story of our inventory. I told you we had 500,000 pounds at the end of last quarter. Today that sits back down around 200,000 because we sold 300,000 to the government in a very good program. Finally, this is just my summary for Peninsula Energy. If you're following uranium, you know idled uranium production operations in the United States today have a very good opportunity. The market is upward facing, and you know, the government in the United States and in the Western world is supporting Western produced uranium projects. So the opportunities in front of us. Most uranium developers that you're going to hear from face significant hurdles, obstacles to getting their projects into production. They're technical, they're regulatory, they're operational, they're staffing. But when you listen to my story, you heard that Peninsula has completed all of that de-risking. We've completed the technical de-risking. We've completed the regulatory de-risking. We have a complete staff at site getting the project started today, and they know how to operate. So this is our advantage. This is Peninsula in a nutshell. We are well positioned to capitalize on the improving uranium markets, and we intend to do so.